Welcome to Help with Natalie Cuomo, the podcast about a girl who just can't help herself.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Help with Natalie Cuomo. It's a good vibe in here today.
Yep.
What's up?
Hello.
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 I am here with the amazing returning guest, Zac Amico. How are you today?
I'm great. How are you?
And the incredible Jim Norton. How's it going?
I'm okay. How you doing?
Pretty good. This intro's a lot longer than I remember.
Yeah. I hate starting shows. I'm always bad when I have to introduce a show. I never know how to open a show or what to say first. I hate
It's
doing
longer than I remember. It's been, 2 weeks because everyone was in Jamaica. It's a long party intro.
This was my first time I didn't have to do a morning podcast in like 5 years. Wow. I got to sleep in. It was fucking awesome.
Hell
it.
yeah.
What time of your morning podcast?
Oh, I'm not you fucking canary. 11. 11 is that early?
Yeah, it's still for a comic. That's early.
Yeah.
That's
Right.
fucking early. Because you're probably up. I go to bed like around midnight. I'm sure you're up later.
Yeah.
Already we're being boring.
What
time did you go to bed last night?
Yeah, I mean, this is wild, you guys. Wild. I had a fucking amazing weekend this weekend. Something very, I went to Dallas. I did like a one-nighter at Hyenas, which was exciting. And then I got stuck there because of the snowstorm. I got stuck in Dallas. And I was like kind of bummed out. But there are these two awesome people. They're like fans. They're from like We Go Hard, Matt and Andrea, and they took me to the coolest fucking bar in Texas.
Okay.
Like you could smoke inside. It was like one of those kind of things, and they had it was very chill. Like it was just a chill. I said I want to go to a chill bar. We're smoking, and then all of a sudden, it's karaoke time. It's karaoke time, and
I hope you left immediately.
Jim, I did karaoke. I did karaoke in Texas.
Is that like a new thing?
Oh, I don't usually do karaoke. I did Since You've Been Gone by Kelly Clarkson and Skater Boy by Avril Lavigne.
Were you drunk?
Yes.
Yes, I can't. Bombing on stage doesn't scare me, but fucking singing or dancing in front of people is like unironically terrifying. Like I can't do it.
It was so fucking fun.
I'm such a queen. I love shit like that.
Do you really? You can do it?
Fun.
Yeah. You were there. I did a Sweet Transvestite.
Yeah.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, sure.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm a big mo.
It was awesome, and so many people came out. Like it was great.
Is that something you want to think? That's going to be a thing now? Going out singing?
Going out singing, no, and then there was this random girl, and we country danced together.
Well, that was a lot more exciting than the first syllable.
we cunt slam together.
Goddamn, this is gonna be a good show.
Yeah,
no.
sounded like cupping.
It really was not that crazy of a night, but it was really for me. I don't usually go out, so I was sitting there, like I was drunk, sitting there smoking a cigarette, and I was like, it was one of those moments where I was like, life ain't too bad, is it?
I'm amazed you went out. This is the crazy part, like going out with people after the show who you didn't know. Like,
the day after the show.
I only do that when me or someone I'm with needs to pick up drugs.
Yeah, then it's a legit reason.
Well, there are people. So I've been streaming on Twitch a lot, and I fucking love my Twitch community. Like recently, it's been so warm, so loving. I just like love these people. Zia streams on Twitch, and they're so loving. So they're from Twitch, so I feel like a better connection to them because I talk to them all the time.
Yeah, you physically hear from them. Okay.
Yeah, so it's not like completely random strangers. Like it was, I feel like I know them kind of.
And you got to play for a bunch of hours. Like I've never been patient enough to do Twitch, and I suck at video games.
Oh yeah, but you get sucked in.
Yeah, I guess
you get sucked in, and it was awesome.
You're playing that goddamn Animal Crossing, aren't you?
Have you played Animal Crossing?
I fucking hate it. I hate it with the fucking fire of 1,000 suns.
Do you know what Animal Crossing is?
No, I'm a Wordle guy.
Wordle?
Yeah.
What's that?
Oh, some shit fucking game that Times just bought. We played it today on the air. It's atrocious.
What is it?
It's some word guess game. I was just kidding. It's an awful game.
You have to. It's always a 5-letter word, and you have to guess, and then
Yeah.
it tells you what letters you got
You
right.
couldn't play that for hours. Animal Crossing is like you create your own world with animals. It's for babies, but I love it.
You can't. It just goes on. There's no end. You can't beat the game.
Jim, you create your own world.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd like
No,
that.
no, no.
I don't know if I'd like
You leave this world, and all of a sudden, you know what my island is called? It's called Happy Island.
that. Oh.
And
I was hoping for Epstein's.
I banged my head. And I have a pink house, many rooms. It's really a good escape.
Do you ever do virtual reality? Like, I've gotten into that a little bit. Like, I play chess in it, but I get too dizzy. But that I could see you losing yourself in because your surroundings are all in the game.
Well, the fun thing is I can go to other people's islands on my Twitch. We all share with each other. It's like, and it's gotten so awesome. I had my mom come on my Twitch yesterday and show her artwork. It was
Once again, started exciting.
Oh my God.
How did it go over?
It was so basically my mom is like a fucking amazing artist and she hasn't like drawn or painted in like a year. So I was like, you know what, Mom, show your art on my channel. We're gonna get my mom to draw again. It was awesome.
What does she paint, or is she like what or draw? What does she do?
She like people. She's really incredible.
I'm always impressed that I can draw hands. Like, as a kid, I used to draw, and I was awful. But the thing I could draw the worst was hands. Anybody that can do hands is a good artist.
I agree.
You're saying I can draw like a mitt.
A mitt?
Yeah.
Yeah, it never looks like a human hand.
No, everyone I drew had their fucking looked like they were standing with their hands behind their backs. Because that would always blow my picture with their hands.
Hands are the hardest thing.
Yeah.
And it's hard to do 5 fingers look psychotic.
That's what cartoons do 4.
That's because 5 looks fucking crazy.
Yeah, it looks weird.
So guys, I do usually start my podcast right away. I don't even take a breath. Right away, I usually just go, oh my God, please tell me the best advice you've ever received.
Probably don't wear condoms. That was the best advice I ever got.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you have a child?
No.
Wow.
That's why. I can look at this now 30 years later and go, that's fucking pretty good.
It was good advice.
Yeah.
Because it just feels so much better.
Yeah. Yeah. And I lose my heart on the condoms. I didn't expect to go down the rabbit hole with it. But yeah, I lose my erection.
Immediately.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You get 3 new lady fucks with a condom, and then after this, you're like, what are we doing here?
Yeah. You can fuck with a condom at all?
If it's a new chick, yeah. But, maybe not anymore. I've been with the same woman for 8 years now.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
we got rid of those pretty quick.
No, best advice I ever got was my Uncle Mark. It's like, he's an actor, and he said, what have you done for your career today? Every day you should ask yourself that. A little bit of advice. I was probably 15, talking about wanting to do comedy, or I was 18, and he said, what have I done for my career today? It's literally the best thing anyone has told me in the business, and that was, before I think I even started stand-up. He was just talking about, if you do it, this is what you do.
Wow.
And that's the thing that has gotten me. Whenever I feel lazy, I do one thing, even if it's small. So yeah, I would say that was probably the most helpful.
What's a small thing that you could do for your career that, like, what's a good example?
You could write, or you could go do an open mic somewhere. Again, this is in the early 90s, but you could just go out and do something, or you could.
Are you calling
try
me
to
an
book
open
a
micer?
gig. No, not you could do an open mic. No, of course not. You're straight to closing. But I mean myself, I was an open micer. Anything little like that. Even if it was just go to a show and try to get on, but never don't do anything. Every day do something small. And I hate lazy comics. I fucking hate them.
Me too.
Yeah.
That's good advice. I feel like I have heard that advice. I like that advice a lot.
Yeah. It sounds trite in the moment, but then when you realize, like, I came up over the decades so many times I thought of him telling me that, and it just kind of prevented me from getting lazy.
It's true. What do you think, Zach?
Did you? Because I know, like, when in between O&A getting fired and that time back, that was like, you were like fucked up over that, right?
I was going to jump out my window. Yeah, I remember I was, Bobby Kelly lived in my building on 43rd Street. I was looking up, I lived on the 22nd floor. I'm like, you got to just jump. I mean, because there's nothing's going to ever come along. But this is what a flea I am. I fucking, O&A ended October of 2002. Tough Crowd started writing and in development around then. We shot the pilots November of 2002. That ended November of 2004, and O&A came back October of 2004. So I always was very lucky it had something. Boring timeline.
What did you do in those, like, so that's like 2 years in between, right?
I was doing Tough Crowd. So I was doing a lot of road stuff, and it made me a much better comic because you're on the panel with Colin and Nick and Greg and Patrice. You had to write jokes.
Right.
So in hindsight, it made me a much better comic.
What do you do when you're That's exactly that. When you have a writer's block, what's the best thing to do when you have writer's block?
I always get it. Like I just go on stage and start talking. Like you're like, yeah, we'll talk about this. But I'm not good at making myself right. Like I don't know. Can you sit down and actually say, I'm gonna do an hour today? Like
I used to, but now I gotta write down the idea. I have like a note section just for that.
Yeah.
And then I just gotta go talk about it until I find where the funny is.
Yeah, you just kind of look around for it. It's a lot of bad sets, right? Like a lot of shitty moments.
But you try to like hide it in between things.
Yeah.
Like if I'm gonna bullshit about this, I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm gonna go on a tangent real quick. And then just try and find where the beats are.
Yeah. Sometimes you get it, sometimes you don't. But it's really the worst too is when you start getting into bad habits. That's the one disadvantage to that is I'll come up with something and I'll talk it. And I'll be that's kind of a shitty, cheap laugh. But it's like I haven't written anything good. I've only fell into that, so I keep that. So sometimes you like fuck your jokes up by doing that too.
Right.
I wish I was more disciplined.
I've always thought that I should be able to like sit down and just write, and I can do that sometimes, but it's very hard for me to just stare at a Word document.
Yeah, I can't do it. I can't make myself.
I find it easier to work things out on stage or like usually like right before I'm falling asleep, like that's when I feel the most lucid and I start like feeling creative and then I like sit up and start writing.
Yeah, late at night also for me, which sucks because I get up in the morning for radio, but late at night is my mind just works better. Which for stand-up, I guess that's what you want, right?
Yeah. I see so many of my jokes are story based.
Right.
So I just like I remember a story or like I'll connect something and I just have to go tell that story a couple times to remember everything and then to like figure out where the punches go.
Are you a good storyteller? I'm shit.
I'm okay.
Bad
You're a great
storyteller.
storyteller.
My closer's like 10 minutes long.
Really? Is it a true story?
Yeah.
I feel like you're also very good at punching things up. You're very good at punching things up.
Yeah, I like tagging stuff a lot.
Yeah, you're very good
Like
at
a lot of my stuff is like tags on it's stories with then tag on tag on tag.
I'd love to see a 10-minute closer bomb though. Like
it does.
Because how long you know when there's nothing worse when you know something's about to bomb. Like wow, the setup got a -1. I'm finished. But when you have a 10-minute bit, you can't. There's no way around it.
I have 2 safeties in it.
Oh, you do.
Yeah.
Just ripcords.
Yeah, I have 2, and then I have one where I can skip right to the end.
Yeah,
because I hide 2 other stories in it.
Sure.
So I can get rid of those
and just kind of get cut to the chase.
Cut to it. Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, but you feel like you feel cheap when you do that though. Like I've done it, like or I've cut something out. It's like you fucking pussy. Like what are you doing? You should have just done your material.
It's my by the way, Jim. That's my joke about eating my dad's cum.
I know
really?
that joke.
Yeah,
I love that joke.
It's a long bit.
Yeah. Why would you cut that? Yeah.
Do you have one of those?
No, I had a joke that Voss used to love many years ago about being molested in a Little League uniform, but it was never a joke. I just did it to make him and Jim Florentine laugh, and I never got a laugh on stage once. Every time it would bomb. That me and my Little League team won the championship, and my dad was so proud that we got in the car, drove to the woods, and jerked off together, and he kept whispering in my ear, "Shh, don't take off the uniform. I like it." It would bomb every time I did it, and except for Voss and Jim, were the two people that enjoyed it. Jim would call for it, like if I was at the strip, he'd be like, "The Little League story," and knowing that it was going to bomb.
What an odd way to end, instead of a joke to end the joke with just sad awfulness.
Yeah.
Keep the uniform on.
I like it. Yeah, it's just so gross.
Had your dad ever heard you tell it?
I hope not, because it's so not true. We didn't, my dad was never creepy. He
You never played Little League.
It was football.
And he hated the uniform. Yeah, no, I did play Little League too, but there was something very funny about saying that. It's just such a funny thing to say to somebody.
I like it.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
So did Rich and so did Jim, and no one else enjoyed that. But that was like a joke like that. They would just put bomb every time.
Wow. What, Zach? So, Zach, you've done the show. I've asked you the best advice you ever received, which was don't date a comic. Great advice.
Bob Kelly, don't ever fuck anybody with a headshot.
That's very funny.
Brilliant advice.
Yeah.
Hindsight's 20/20, dude.
Hindsight's 20/20. Anyway, what's the worst advice you've ever received?
This is from my dad, and he meant well, and I love him very much, and we get along great.
Okay.
But he told me multiple times when I was growing up, high school will be the best 4 years of your life, and make sure you enjoy it then.
They all say that, yeah.
yuck.
Yeah.
And then, 2 days into it, I'm like, well, I don't think that's true.
Yeah.
And I look back now at the people who that was the best time of their life, and I was like, oh, I guess my dad's life kind of sucked.
Yeah. Because they're still wearing the varsity jackets, right? Fucking 20 years later.
Oh
Like,
my
imagine
God.
somebody
There's
who buys
the class rings.
the high school class ring, the fucking ugh. And I look at because I grew up not far out of the city. I grew up at Secaucus. And I look at the people that are just there still. And like the ones that were like living it. Like, this is going to be a great place to raise my kids. And I look at how much I despise their fucking lot. Like, I would blow my fucking brains out times a million.
Yeah.
Like, if you enjoyed high school, you have to be a dullard, or you just peaked.
Yeah, peaking in high school is scary. People who peaked in high school, like, and it's still the glory years to them.
Yep.
They're still talking about the big game or the big win, and not just reminiscing, but like they still have emotion attached to it. And
Right.
it's almost like it's almost like it's another season of a show I used to watch. It feels like nothing.
When I grew up, I wrestled, and there would be dads in the stands who didn't have kids on the team.
Oh my God.
They wrestled and would show up every week to support.
That's not why they showed up. They wanted to suck young wrestler dick.
That's
they wanted to look at
crazy.
boys in singlets.
They want to suck young wrestler dick.
I just remember this giant fat guy coming up to me, didn't have a kid on the team, patted me on the back and goes, hey, you really got to start working on your wind out there. Right?
Yuck.
Yeah, just fucking sad dads.
Yeah. Yeah, that is kind of gross.
I feel, I don't think I really know anybody who peaked in high school. I mean, maybe some comedians.
Yeah. Yeah, some people that should have just lived in the glory days that decided to try stand-up.
Yeah.
The worst is when you see people, like, and I'm sure you've had this, where you see people, like guys I did open mics with in like early 90s, and I see them now, and they dropped out, and we just kind of lost touch, and like, yeah, man, I got married, and I had kids, and I started this job, but I kind of miss it, and that was always heartbreaking. It's like they miss it. If they said like, hey, I'm fucking glad I went to law school, but they miss it, and you're like, oh, I'm so glad I didn't make that mistake of
Oh my God.
leaving.
I got a therapist. I don't know if I told you this, Zach, but I feel like I might have. Sorry if I did, but I got a therapist, a new one. And I told him like I did stand up, and he said I used to do stand up. And I was like,
I would walk out.
we are not seeing each other anymore.
I would walk out
I was
immediately.
like, this is.
I don't want any of my doctor's things to be their second choice.
Yeah, right.
Also, I don't want any of my my therapist being like, oh yeah, I could have done. I don't know. There's something so gross about my therapist having done stand. Like, he used to perform at Stress Factory, he said, and I was just like, you're picturing the Stress Factory open mics, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a whole, and then I just started to get chills, and I just started to like not trust anything, and I just started to feel this isn't right.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't want somebody talking to you in comic vernacular. Like, I don't want to talk to a therapist and have them go, how's Late Show, or how are counts?
No.
Yeah, I don't want it.
No. And he was fine. He was nice. Like, he was great in any other way. But I mean, I think people might say that for any other profession you had, and your therapist wanted to be that, but it's different for comedy because people that don't actually pursue it actively have a total misconception of what it is, and they could be like, yeah, I missed it. Then instead of that, but it was just such a weird thing to have like my first session with this therapist, and then them to say that, I was like, oh.
Well, how long did he do it? It's different. Did he really try, or was it something that he did like 3 or 4 times?
Well, we didn't get too into it, but he did know a few clubs and some names.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And so, and he did tell me a joke.
I don't like this.
Oh,
I don't like this at all.
sucks.
You paid him.
I paid for a show.
Yeah.
I paid for a show.
You
I
paid
paid for a
him
show.
for him to go over his shitty material with you.
He went over some material.
How was the joke?
I don't remember it, but it was dirty, I think. And it was something about the shower. It was
Oh, ketchup.
better
Pulp
help.
Fiction.
Better help.
Oh, it was BetterHelp?
It was BetterHelp.
My
That's why I
BetterHelp
feel like I would
person's
have.
so
I
good.
know, and there are great people on BetterHelp, and like I know a lot of people that have great stuff on BetterHelp. So maybe it's just better luck next time on BetterHelp.
Sure.
But yeah, so that's why I feel. That's why I feel that therapists. It does prove this point that all therapists are probably broken people.
Yeah, or they maybe wanted to do something else, and then they kind of landed in that. Because I'm amazed my therapist. Like, sometimes I'm talking, I'm like, how does he fucking tolerate this?
Yeah.
How do you just listen to me? It's like awful. Like, I would hate to listen to another person with no investment other than I had to just give them advice.
Well, they get paid a lot.
Yeah, they do.
I use BetterHelp too, and I've never done it, but I really want to just collect screenshots of the faces my therapist makes when I tell her stories from my childhood. She'll just go, "Oh my Lord."
Are they bad? Were you like brutally fucked as a kid, or?
No, nothing crazy.
Yeah, what is she reacting to?
Just the ways things people said to me. I was raised around some weird, like, I was treated like an adult oddly in conversation.
Okay.
And yeah, like I knew way too many things way too young about people in around my family.
Yeah. You're exposed too soon.
Yeah, in very odd ways.
I feel that.
Wise beyond your years.
Yes, unfortunately.
Mature.
And I'll tell her stuff that I'm like, I think this is why I'm fucked up about some sexual stuff. And she'll be like, yeah, no, you're onto something there.
Yeah.
Do you ever get in your head about your therapist and just like sometimes I'm just like, I don't know if my therapist is the right there. Like I just feel like I overthink if I have the right therapist or not.
I'd really like one because I had one bad one when I was a kid, and I've always been very skeptical since then.
Yeah.
And then this one I just
Really.
I don't think I would want a male therapist.
You know, I have one, but I never wanted one either.
Huh.
I like female therapists. It's just easier for me to tell a woman something than a guy. Maybe it's male energy.
Yeah. But some things I wouldn't want to admit as fast
Yes, agree.
to a strange man as to a strange woman.
Yeah, it's weird. I had a therapist fall asleep once in Highland Park, New Jersey. I was talking, and he was like, his eyes were closed, and I'm talking, and he goes, yeah. And I was like, this fucking piece of... And he used to debate me. I would complain about the audiences, and he would go, I mean, it's your job to entertain them. Like, I'm like, you fucking arguing with me about my view of the audience? I hated that guy.
Oh my God.
Hated. I think he hated me too. Like, for real. Like, we just didn't like each other.
Fall asleep.
Yeah, that was a rough one. I mean, that was a rough one. I ended our relationship soon after.
That's crazy. Ugh. I don't jive with female therapists actually. But maybe I would now, but in the past I've always felt like judged by female therapists.
Have you ever had a guy therapist like be inappropriate or creepy, or have they all been above board?
Well, one wanted to do stand up, so that was very inappropriate.
Yeah, I always wondered as a woman, like if a guy is listening to you tell all these deep, dark secrets, do they ever respond or react in a way that you're like, that's not therapist-ish?
I feel like I think I maybe turn off the part of my brain that goes, this is creepy what this person said, because I think people say creepy things a lot. So, do you know what I'm saying?
You're saying you're desensitized to
I'm
it?
desensitized, yeah. I think that, creepy things have been said.
Yeah, because there's certain things like when I'm saying them to a guy, like the same as you, I'm like I don't want to say them to a man. So I'm like, yeah, I'd much rather talk to a woman. I think my guy's very good, but yeah, I would rather talk to a woman.
Yeah. Well, that's... It's interesting. Women, their energy is also much more nurturing. Women are just the best.
Yeah, I just need I need somebody I can really bitch to.
Yeah.
And I just don't feel like I could look at another man and say what I really want.
Yeah, I don't. Oh, is your therapist a woman now? Oh, yeah, you said she. Yeah, mine. I was just looking for. He was recommended by somebody who was like, no, this guy's very good.
Right.
And I won't use the one that everybody else uses, the comic therapist.
That's crazy
fucking
that there's
hate
a
that.
comics therapist.
No way am I using
It's
that.
psychotic. How is everyone feeling comfortable going to a comics therapist?
Yeah, I don't want to talk to the same guy that just talked to Bob Kelly or fucking some other comedians
It's
I know.
crazy.
Even though I would trust him, I don't think he'd betray the trust. I just don't want him having that. And for no reason. I don't even know this guy.
I don't trust him, and I don't even know him.
Yeah.
That's crazy to me.
I feel like he's got to be interested in
He's a
comedian
nosy
drama.
motherfucker.
Or they just all go to him. They all just maybe go to him. Like it might be one guy started going and recommended something. He might have become that by default.
Yeah. No, you're right.
I think that most therapists, they are like, oh, I won't see you. It's kind of like a breach of trust because I'm seeing your friend, I'm seeing your mom, so I'm not going to see you
Right.
as a client. I think a lot of people do that, so that's why I think it's a little inappropriate for like someone to be seeing a friend group or
Right.
like a bunch of coworkers. I think that's a bit odd.
Unless you won't, like, what if one talks about the other? Will you go like, no, you can't because you know what I mean? Like, there's got to be some kind of a line.
Some of the states I'm in walking out of therapy, I do not want to run into my peers and coworkers.
Right?
No, not at all. You're walking out feeling all fucked up, vulnerable like a fucking fruit, and you're like, oh,
Vulnerable like a fruit.
yeah, just like a mow. You don't want to fucking bump into somebody. It's just humiliating.
Guys, man, you guys are really, so as I said before we started this podcast, everyone says the two of you are just like two peas in a pod.
I think we tickle each other's pickles.
Yeah, we really do. We get each other.
Can you give me a little bit of history on this? Talk to me about you two.
In all honesty, it's just from podcasting together.
Yeah.
and-
Really?
And knowing each other through other people. Yeah.
Really?
But Zach, I like people, like Zach's really funny. Like guys who are really funny, I love. Like, you know what I mean? Like you just, you respect
Zach is
it.
very fucking
You enjoy
funny.
watching their mind work. And you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Seriously, it's like, I love funny guys. Like, yeah. So the minute I met him, I thought he was great.
And I grew up listening to Jim, so I just know his timing. So I
Wow.
usually, it's the same with the fact that I've been doing, the show with Lewis so long.
Yeah.
I know his speech patterns and timing,
Yeah.
which is why I can interject when I do and make it most effective. And I've been listening to Jim for, a long fucking
Interesting.
time.
Oh, thanks, man. It's really, but it is weird when you know your friends. You can you know the speech patterns. You can
Interesting.
bounce
This,
in
this
and
is how
out.
long I've
I've
been
never
listening.
thought about that.
I went through my mother's bedside drawer because you guys on the air
That's right.
told kids to go through the drawer next to your dad's side of the bed or your mom's side of the bed.
What was it called? There was a name for that bit too. That was more Opie. That was or O&A even together,
Yeah.
like before me. I was there for it, but I think they started it before I was there. What's in Mommy's drawer? I forget what it was called, but it was very funny.
I
What'd you
went.
find?
I didn't call. I went. I was like, I wonder what is in that.
What'd you
That's how long
find?
I listened. And it was chocolate body paint.
Ugh.
Yeah. And a half scooped out container of Vaseline.
Oh no! You never want to see half
Why?
scooped out.
It was like when he throws her, when he
Why?
throws him in Kill Bill.
Oh my
yeah.
God. A half scooped out container
And I
of
think there was a
Vaseline.
cassette in there too of like sexy songs.
Yeah, it's rough. You don't want to. I never saw anything like that with my parents. I'm grateful. You never want to know.
God, neither have I. I've only one time, my dad, when I was in high school, when I had my dad's Amazon, there was $40 worth of lube in the cart. And I was like, Dad, why is there all this lube? And he's like, when you're older, you need lube. And that was it.
Yuck.
I know. He meant your mom.
He didn't mean my
Oh
mom.
no, him.
He meant his
Do you think he meant for her or for his back?
for his back? No,
I
I think
mean
he
his
meant.
ass. Like, do you think he lube for?
I think he meant
$40
for-
is a lot of lube.
That's
is
a
all
lot.
It's
I'm
a
saying.
psychotic amount of lube, and I know that's a word I've been saying. It's my word of the day. It's a crazy amount of lube. He likes
Yeah.
to stock up. He's got a bit of OCD.
I bet he does.
He likes to stock up. He likes to stock up. He needs to have at least a lot of everything. So lube.
What is he like? Because I use when
I
would
don't
buy
know.
it-
Are
oh,
you asking me
remember?
the brand of my father's
Eros
lube?
are pure. Like it's a black bottle. It's fucking phenomenal. That stuff.
I use KY.
Oh no, KY smells weird. It gets rubbery.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I only need it for anal.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess so. I'm
Yeah.
not big on anal though. I don't really do it.
Yeah, I've never been a proponent of it. I've had it go bad.
Really? What
Sure.
happened when it went bad?
I had a girl take a poopy on me.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
It happens to the best of us.
Was it like a?
I've had that too. Yeah,
Wait, tell me more because I want to know because that's like obviously my biggest fear, but it's never
All
happened
right.
to me.
So when you're, if you don't mind, Jim, when you are fucking a gal in the ass and she shits, you know before you know.
Yep.
Really?
Yeah.
She shits?
There'll just be something, and you don't feel it on your dick. You don't. It's not immediate. It's the pH balance of the room changes.
You know how you walk in the house, you can tell when someone is making cinnamon
Is it
bread or muffins. That smell is in the house before you get into the kitchen. That's what that's like.
Is it like when you dip a strawberry in chocolate, or is it something completely different?
I've heard it. My friend Rick Sabato called it a Rocky Mountain mud cap.
Oh yeah. Nice.
Are you talking? Can I just clarify? Are you talking about an actual shit, or are you talking about you pull your dick out and it's covered in poop?
No, it was a not solid one, and then so I have my dick ring. There was a perfect half moon of shit in the ring, and it just flopped out and hit the bed, and she didn't want me to see it, and she scooped it up with her hand and threw it in the corner of the room.
What a trooper! Wow, that's a great girl. That's a great girl. Picked it up and threw it. That's a pro.
Was it your room or hers?
It was hers.
The whole room must have stunk.
It's the room just.
It's like
the
cinnamon.
You would see the thermostat would change.
Something happens. Yeah.
Yeah.
It changes the mood. It changes
You
the energy.
feel it before it happens. What do you mean?
You feel it, and the viscosity is different.
Yes.
There's a different viscosity and the smell, and then you'll sometimes see it a little bit. In porn, they call it butt jelly. Like that happens sometimes when it's a little bit, and then in other times, like it's like, oh, it's a this is a person who was not prepared at all.
No.
This was a complete
But-
surprise.
What about this? Whenever I do anal, I will use like a butt plug first.
Yeah.
Then I'll look at the butt plug and be like, it's clean. We're good to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's of course.
That's kind of
You're
like
not lazy.
101. You look at the butt plug, clean as a whistle. Okay, we can do this. It's kind of like that.
Sometimes you're in a rush to get where you're going.
I just don't think that's the thing to rush through because it can be quite catastrophic. What's your story, Jim?
I mean, I've had a bunch of those over the years. I mean, I've done it many times, but I stopped kind of liking it. Like I was doing it just to kind of do it.
Yeah.
Like,
It doesn't feel better because the vagina has walls, and the whole vagina hugs your dick. Your butthole is your butthole, and then that goes to a bigger chamber. So
Really?
you're really just getting the
Oh, it doesn't feel
hole.
better.
No, it's a tighter
It's
hole.
a novelty.
But it's just the entrance.
yeah, I've enjoyed it like physically, but it's just after a while, I'm like, I didn't have a craving to do it unless it was like, wow, I want to do this because it's the. But you're right, it wasn't some amazing
Yeah.
experience. But after as many accidents as you have, you're like, no more.
Wow. Interesting.
Yeah, I'm not saying never, but it's
Yeah.
just.
I feel like I almost wear it as a badge of pride because you suffer for that.
I guess
Afterwards,
so,
you're
yeah.
like, I've suffered for this. It's like a tattoo, but you don't have anything to show for it, you know?
Yeah, just a little inflatable donut to sit on. Yeah.
Bill for BetterHelp.
What do you mean an inflatable donut?
Oh, those little things you blow up.
Yeah.
Like when people have anal surgery or whatever, they have fucking hemorrhoids. They have those little blow up donuts that they sit on
Is
to
that how
help
you
their
get
hiney.
hemorrhoids?
I think that will help people's heinies.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I've just done that, and we've done many molesting jokes with inflatable donut references.
It's, wow, really?
Yeah.
I could do a pink frosted donut at the moment. Regular. I'm hungry.
Oh yeah. Okay.
We're still thinking about assholes. We were trying to figure that one out.
Yeah, I didn't get it.
That's crazy. So
One time
wow.
I had a girl come visit from Rhode Island, and she kept telling, the whole trip, she's dirty, texted me that she wants me to fuck her in the ass. She comes to my room, bends over. Dude, she had such a fucking roid.
Oh no!
I've never seen one in person.
Dude,
Yeah.
it was startling.
Yeah. It's a vibe killer, right?
What does it
Oh,
look
yeah.
like? A pimple?
It looks like, you ever see that cartoon? Is it Kilroy where there's a
Yeah.
fucking a fence?
Kilroy
with
was here?
Yeah, big nose hanging over it. That's what it looks like.
Can you show us, Paul?
It's like,
awful.
it's just out of your butthole. It'll look like more butthole skins coming, but it's just a big nodule of it.
And where
Yeah.
does that come from? Just
Pregnancy it can be from having kids.
Pregnancy?
It
Yeah.
can be, not always. It can
Because from
be.
pushing so hard.
Yeah.
But a lot, you also get them from like taking horrible shits, which
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, this gal didn't have any kids that I knew of.
Oh yeah.
what is that? A hemorrhoid or
Maybe.
something else?
That's a very bad butthole, but the thing
I
on the,
thought you were going to show us a picture of the cartoon, Paul,
the thing
not a
on- the
hemorrhoid.
thing on the top is the hemorrhoid.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be the cartoon.
It looks like Ziggy. It's the nose hanging over the
Yeah.
fence.
Yeah, I feel it's really if men knew, well, some do, but if the ones that penetrate knew the feeling, they would buy us dinner.
Yeah.
Yeah. Safe to say you're in good company.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll tell you why I won't. I've never done anything large up my butt.
Why?
I was traumatized as a boy. Jim, this isn't going where you think.
Oh no.
It sounds like it's going in a specific direction.
I'm like 7, 8 years old.
Little League.
And I'm running around the house in like tighty whities, and my dad goes to kick me in the ass, and his big welder toe penetrated my little butthole, and I flew up in the air with my arms and legs dangling for like, I was airborne for like a second. So it just went whoop up, whoop up, and then it hit, and I ran out of the room screaming and crying. And I remember hearing my dad go, "At least I don't think he's gay."
So is your dad's big toe?
His big toe.
That's how
Went
you
up your
remember
butt.
It went up my tiny whitey, and it just went. It broke the seal.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
And I was completely. There was a point where I was not on the ground.
Oh yeah.
I was just suspended by my asshole on a man's toe.
I'm impressed by the space between your dad's big toe and the other toes.
Right. They must have bent back and hurt.
I don't know what happened. I'm sorry he broke his foot on my child asshole.
Holy fuck.
And I just remember, and ever since then, anything near my butt, I get nervous.
Yeah. I understand.
Trauma.
Yeah, I can't really take a lot of abuse either. A little bit, not much.
A little bit.
A little bit.
I can take too much. It's a problem. I think I need to stop.
No, it's great because you won't get pregnant if you don't want to. You should enjoy that. You're lucky
What do you
have
mean
that.
I won't get pregnant?
It's from anal sex.
Yeah. So it's like it's a safer way to go. Like a lot of girls would probably have a fucking much easier time of it if they could do that too.
I would never have anal sex with someone that I wasn't dating though. Like anal sex is like we have to
A reward.
we have to trust each other. I have to really trust. It's very intimate.
One girl I dated wouldn't let me fuck her in the ass, and I was so annoyed. It started like a big thing with us because she told me she had done it with somebody. But at the moment, I really didn't even want to. It was almost like because she won't let me, I was angry, but I didn't even care about it.
Well, it's like, oh, you did it with someone else. Why not me? Why am I not good enough?
Why am I not special?
Oh, why can't you fuck me in the ass, huh?
Yeah.
I could see that.
I mean, that's not how I feel, but I can imagine.
Yeah, I'm like, why was he better than me? And she's like, it was uncomfortable. I didn't like it.
Do you feel? What do you feel? What's your love language?
I don't know what that means.
You don't know what a love language is?
No. For a long time, it was money.
A love language is like the way you show and receive affection. So there's like 4 love languages. There's words of affirmation, gift giving, acts of service, and touch.
Do you mean how do I express?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. How do you express love, and how do you receive love?
I would say express it was probably gift giving, because that's all low self-esteem shit where you're like, this is what I have to offer, and she'll like the gift or whatever.
Yeah, or acts of service is also low self-esteem.
Yeah. Like, I'll take you shopping or take you for dinner or whatever, because I figured she wouldn't like me otherwise. And receiving, probably touch. The way somebody touches you. But I can be very annoyed by touch, too. Like, I can really fucking get annoyed by when someone's unwanted touching, which I hate it so much.
Really?
Yeah, like, that's why I think I must have been molested, but I don't remember it, because I hate unwanted touching. It brings such rage. Like, I've had girlfriends over the years, like, when I don't want to be touched, and they're, like, kissing my neck, and it's like a black rage that I'm like, this is not reasonable. I don't know why it feels this way.
Wow. Do they know that? Have you said, like, I don't want to be touched? Or they're just
No.
like, yeah, let's go in the mood. And you're like,
Yeah, no, I wouldn't say anything shitty to them because I knew it was kind of me. But I would, like, try to find a way out of it or go do something else or, like, break the mood somehow. So, yeah, I would say touch.
interesting.
Yeah.
But that's also your love language. Yeah, wow.
I think so, yeah. Gifts I don't care about. I almost get embarrassed if a woman gives me gifts. Like, I don't need that. Words of encouragement are nice, too. That's kind of nice. And whatever the fourth one was?
Acts of service. So, like,
Yeah, no.
okay, yeah.
I'm also seeing quality time.
Quality time. Quality time.
That's
I love. That's a good one. That one. If someone spends quality time with me,
Yeah.
That's mine. Like, especially, like, me and my wife just have, like, a lot of long bits that we've just been... Just something stupid that I said that I'll keep it. Like, I said that I have a illegitimate son named Carlos, whose mother died during conception.
That's funny.
And whenever we start filling out forms for 8 years, do you have any children? Oh, my son Carlos. Mother died during conception.
that's so cute.
That's very funny.
And what we'll do, I'll talk about him for like 20 minutes. I'll describe him, and then we just do bits.
That's fun.
Yeah, it's so fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
Aw.
Quality time, I would say, yeah, I agree with that. That's fun. Yeah, somebody you can hang out with.
Yes. Hey, spending quality time is the most important thing in a relationship. That for me, I just want to fucking like have dinner or watch a movie, smoke a blunt. It's not much to ask for.
No, yeah. Just hanging out with
It's
somebody
not
who
much
you
to
like.
ask for. No, I'm kidding.
Somebody who you like. Like it's hard. The person has to be somebody you like because there's
Yeah.
nothing worse than being around somebody who you're kind of compatible with, and then like after sex, whatever, you're like, ugh, fucking hate them.
Yeah, it's true. That's like the distinction between like someone you're fucking and someone you're dating is like
Right.
that quality time element, I guess.
Yeah, like when you're
Right.
excited to show to watch something with somebody.
Yeah.
And you're like, and you have the honest feeling like, oh, I don't want to watch ahead because I
Yes.
want to watch it with them.
Yep.
That to me, that's like
Yeah.
sharing your time.
Right. Or like when you're excited to tell someone about your day. Like when you're like, "Oh my god, this happened. Oh, I want to tell them about it immediately." Like I feel like that's like a form of like the way like love manifests itself for me.
Yeah, but for me, it's knowing, it's wanting to hear somebody's day. Like I'll tell somebody my day, but if I want to hear it, then I know I really like them. And if I
That's
don't,
true.
yeah, a lot of times you don't want to hear it.
That's true. I like hearing about people's days.
Do you?
If I love them, yeah.
Yeah, if you love them, sure.
If I love them, I want to hear about the shit that they took 5 minutes ago. I fall in love with people so intensely. It's like it's very intense.
Yeah, well, that's good though. At least you kind of know where your head is.
I do know myself that
Yeah.
way, but
One of the weird, so my wife's a teacher, and for a while she was the only teacher in her classroom. So she would get home to me at like 4:00, and I would be the first adult she had spoken to that day. And I described it as the Tasmanian devil of emotion, because just every thought and everything she wanted to express to another adult
Right.
all came flying out
yeah,
in like 85 quick sentences.
yeah.
And thank God she works with other people now, other adults in the same classroom now, because there was a point where I was like, I'm gonna pretend to be asleep on this one.
Oh yeah.
There's gonna be 85 things coming at me right now.
But at this, see, it is really hard when, and I think a lot of people like felt this during the pandemic. It's so hard when you're like, I feel that as a comic a lot. I feel like I spend a lot of my time by myself. Like, I love doing podcasts. And I'm like having these like very present conversations. No one's on their phone. Like, it's fucking awesome. I love doing shows. But other than that, like everything is very like freelance work and everything's like very lonely and by yourself. And like, so I feel like that desire to like share my experience a lot because it is kind of like a lonely career path.
Yeah, and I'm weird with the phone. Like sometimes it fucks my focus up, but other times I can focus on a conversation very well because it's almost like I've like ADD a little bit. So if I'm looking at my phone for something, I'm still completely listening when I'm on the. It looks really rude, but I can still focus. Just
Really?
Yeah, unless I can't multitask like crazy, but just doing something.
Yeah.
My girlfriend will yell at me. I'm like, "What are you?" I'm playing chess, but I'm listening to everything she's saying.
Oh, see that would probably, yeah. That's a compromise, I suppose.
Yeah.
You're like, yeah, you can tell me about your day. I'm just going to be playing a game on my phone during it.
Yeah, and I understand how it's annoying too. But it's just like I'm making one move and stopping. But she's like, "You're fucking playing chess." I'm like, "Yeah, I get it."
This is a very classic male-female dynamic, I feel. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I believe they say that one gender can and one gender can't hear two things at the same time and process both. And I can't remember which is which.
And that would, then it must be women can hear two things and process them. I would assume it's women.
I believe you
They
said
can't hear two things. What do you mean?
So like
They can.
if I'm watching TV and I'm talking to somebody, I'm going to hear one or the other.
Right.
But I believe it's women, I believe you're correct, Jim, can actually process both simultaneously. And it's like a difference between the genders.
I don't know. I've never
Paul?
heard that. It wouldn't surprise me if it was men either, because I would like to think I can do that, but I might be delusional, and maybe I'm only retaining half the
I
information.
can't remember which it is, but I remember that was like a real study.
Whoa.
Where I think you like brought people in and had two different things happening on either side of them, like maybe in each ear,
Right.
and who could remember more of it?
Yeah.
Or both of them.
Yeah, I would love to know the answer to that. I'm kind of curious now.
Women are better at multitasking in terms of listening.
Okay.
How interesting.
Yeah.
It's a shame because women are the ones that like to talk more, typically.
Yeah, about emotions, though. See, men like to talk about traffic and shit that women don't want to hear about, but we love to talk just as much, but not about internal
What do
stuff.
men like to talk about?
Traffic. Like, literally, if I sit down...
Horse shit.
Yeah, horse shit.
Like,
right.
tell me. Like, if I want to if I want to get a guy talking, what do I talk about?
Again, a bad date. Like guys love hearing about shitty dates. We love hearing. Again, I could talk about traffic for hours with a guy I don't know.
What do I say about traffic? There was traffic.
No, but like, you know what I mean? The fucking Cross Bronx, dude, it's the worst. Like, and I could literally care about what he's saying.
And then how far do you go? The Cross Bronx Expressway. Yeah, the George Washington Bridge. Okay. Well, yeah, and this time of day, I know. And the snow. And then what?
You'll talk about your own shortcuts. You'll talk about how Waze was fucked up and didn't work, and goddamn the Uber maps never work. How come the Uber maps always sends you through traffic, but fucking Waze and Google Map? Like, literally, I could talk about it for hours. It's very boring to anyone listening.
Really?
Oh, I can bullshit all day. Me and my friend Pat years ago were drinking one night, and we started talking about how hot we thought Bailey J was.
Oh, yeah.
We have a few beers. We're still talking about it. And I look down, and I go, Pat, how long have we been talking about Bailey J? And he looks at me and goes, 7 hours.
Yeah.
We just kept going back. No matter what other conversation
Sure.
we had, it was just going back to Bailey J.
Yeah. Do you know Bailey?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's really sweet.
Yeah, she did one of the trauma movies.
Oh, right. Yeah, she told me about that. I did her podcast with her husband. And, yeah, she mentioned you.
What, this is a total pivot, but we're speaking about relationships. What's your relationship like with Chip?
It's humiliating. Like, it's a funny thing because it's kind of like you're using your own brain, and it's just such nonsense. Like, there's never any bigger point to it. It's never political. It's just utter. It frees you up to do the worst joke you can possibly think of. It's fun. Like, your mind works the same. Like, you know how it is, you go for a joke and you fucking think of something, but then it's like, oh God, the beauty of grabbing the ones that you'd always normally have to leave behind.
Right.
Like, that's the pool I have to choose from.
Right.
And there's always more of them.
Yeah.
There's one or two funny responses. There's 1,600 shit ones. And the joy of being able to reach into that fucking pile. Yeah, it's just fun.
Oh, it's so much fun, dude.
I was going to wear a Chip shirt today.
Oh, you know, it's funny. I've been wearing my own merch because I fucking, I just, you know, for warmth and it's free for me. So but it's humiliating wearing my own stuff.
That's your own merch?
Yeah, it's Doug Bell, but I didn't come. I was supposed to go home before and I didn't to change. So
Jim, did I ever tell you about the time I chipped my way out of a blowjob?
no.
What did you do?
It was a girl.
I love Chip, by the way.
Who a lady who I knew who liked O&A as well. It was many years ago. I was at her house. She was older than me. Her husband wasn't home. And she asked me for a back rub. And I was rubbing her back, and I even pulled the line. I was like, you know, it'd be easier with no bra on, bra off, right? Starts making jokes. And she turns around, and I take my dick out. And she sees my dick ring. And she goes, I feel like I'm going to chip a tooth on that thing. And I went, what, that? And she goes, I am not going to blow Chip Chiverson, and put his shirt back on and stormed out.
Really? Oh, it brings me great joy. that makes me really happy.
Oh my God. I love
That's
Chip.
funny.
He makes everyone else feel free. You know?
Because there's no wrong answer. Like,
He's
it's just such
very
nonsense.
free.
Yeah, because even if you tell a joke that sucks or a bomb, so what? Like, look where we are. It doesn't mean anything. Yeah, that's where it's kind of fun.
Wow. I just picture, so when you said the dick ring story, I was able to picture it then. And then it took me back to the anal story, and I was able to repicture the poop in the dick ring.
Yeah, it was a perfect half moon.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful.
Yeah. Ooh.
Like a black and white cookie.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's very visceral.
It looked like one of Ving Rhames' toenails.
Rest in peace. Rest in peace.
All right, you guys. Well, this has been so much fun. Thank you so much for joining me on
Sure.
my podcast.
Yes.
Thank you for having
We've gotten
us.
some great advice.
Wow, we talking for 49 minutes already?
Yeah, we're having so much fun.
Yeah, it's quick.
Anything you guys want to plug? Jim, you want to go first?
Just gigs, my website, whatever. I got Boston, Foxwoods, and New Hampshire. Just a bunch of gigs. Go to jimnorton.com.
Awesome. What about you, Zach?
Just check out my other podcasts. Realize Podcast, Zac Amico's Midnight Spook Show, Bye Guys with Ian Finance, and Catalyst Wrestling. And my new movie, Shakespeare's Shitstorm, is going to be in Philadelphia on February 25th, and New York City start a week-long run on theaters on April the 8th.
Oh, that's great, man. What theaters do you know, or just
Philly Mocha in Philly, and then we are doing the Museum of Modern Image on April the 8th.
Oh, awesome, man.
Awesome. I love the Museum of Modern Image.
Yeah, it's gonna be. It's a big room. It's like a 500-seater. It's
That's
really
great.
nice.
Yeah, I would love to see
Cool.
it.
Fuck yeah. And as always, you can find me at Natalie Cuomo _ on Instagram, youtube.com/Natalie Cuomo. Hang out with me on Twitch. I am on Twitch every day. I am chilling on Twitch, twitch.tv/Natalie Cuomo. Join me on Discord. And I also just want to do a special thank you to everyone that's been on my Twitch. You guys make me happy. You make my life better. I fucking love you so much. Special shout out to Sludge Melon. Thank you for those pins. They were awesome. Throttle Therapy, thank you for the sweatshirt and the shirt. Operatic Toast, thank you for the bracelet. And Martin Brewing Ale Company, thank you for the pickle beer. I love you all so much, and thanks for listening. Bye.
Thanks for listening to Help with Natalie Cuomo. Tune in next week for another episode. Find us on social media at Help with Natalie.